Okay, so how do you feel you are emotionally impacting your fans? Because your music is highly emotive, from my perspective at least.
I don't know, it's hard to tell, of course, but I do meet a lot of people who, you know, tell me the way our music feels to them, and it's the best thing, but it's not something that I think about when I'm writing. But sometimes when you meet someone who really gets it, you know, and has kind of like has been through the same stuff or has a similar kind of vibe or a similar experiences, it's the best feeling in the world. You feel like you kind of connected, you know, even though we could be from totally different parts of the world, you know, and we still can kind of share an emotional kind of thing, and it's fantastic. It doesn't get better.
Is that an intention when you are writing to reach somebody emotionally, or is it just your own release?
It's I never think about who's listening or who's reading. You know, I just write for my own kind of well-being. You know, no, that would be weird. I don't think I would be able to write properly if I started thinking about who's listening. And
yeah, well, you know, music these days, mainstream music at least, it's all trying to get a reaction out of somebody. But I think what makes your music so much more special is that it's not intentional, but it does grab so many people in such a different way.
No, I guess I try even harder to hide some of the stuff that I wanted to say behind words, you know, because I don't want it to be too in people's face, you know, where I'm not comfortable with saying exactly what's on my mind, but I kind of, you know, try to hide it within the words.
Do you ever get people that read exactly into what you were trying to say in a subdued way and come to you and say it, and then you're like, wow, they got it?
Yeah, I mean, that has happened, yeah, absolutely. But then at the same time, you get a lot of people who have no idea, or really doesn't get it, or has a totally opposite reaction. But that's interesting too, you know. I had a guy come up to me and he was ecstatic, and he was like, "Fuck, I really love your song, one of our songs, and it means the world to me. I gotta, you know, have a question. Like, is it about ice fishing?" He's like, "What?" But that's what he got out of it, because he was a fisherman himself, and like whatever he read into that song was like, it spoke to him in a way that where he felt that it was about his
So how many of your songs are about ice fishing?
Oh, it's, I mean, roughly 60%, something like that.
And then a lot of people that I've interviewed think that technical music doesn't have a heartbeat, and by nature it can't have a heartbeat. But I think what you guys are doing with Dark Tranquillity has given technical music such an astounding heartbeat.
I mean, it can definitely have a heartbeat, you know.
Yeah.
Some of my all-time favorite bands are really technical bands, and I think with music that is different from the norm and not just a straightforward rock and roll thing, you can address other things, or it can move you in different ways that perhaps the run-of-the-mill kind of, you know, top 10 kind of song will do. So wow, I never thought of that actually. But
I was Donald Tardy, the drummer for Obituary.
Oh yeah.
We just did an interview with him because they were here probably a month or two ago.
All right.
And we were talking about the homegrown American death metal.
Yeah.
And then I asked him what his opinion on melodic death metal is, and what the difference is with Europe, and where death metal is going in technicality. And the most important thing to him was just that your music had life.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of people get caught up in being technical, and they don't feel what they're playing.
That's true. You have to. For me, the music that we write, like the other guys in the band, write most of the music, and then I write the lyrics, and it's always the song that inspires me first. You know, I listen to the melodies and the music, and that's what keeps me going. And if it is stale and, you know, just, you know, uninspiring, then we do something about it, then we start over again.
Mm-hmm. Does growing up or being from Europe and creating metal in that environment separate it from American metal? What do you feel is the difference between European death metal and American death metal?
I mean, obviously we are very influenced by American metal. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what we grew up on. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's, at least in Gothenburg, where we are from, we had like I guess an idea of mixing all of our great influence into something new, and it was always it was all about being original and different, and try to kind of stand out in a way, and do things that no one else was doing. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, obviously some of my all-time favorite bands are American. Maybe some of my favorite bands are European, and it's definitely a difference, but I don't know what that would be.
Because like you listen to Death, for example.
Yeah.
Pure American death metal.
Yeah. And
kind of textbook in that way. And then one of my favorite European death metal bands, Kalma.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
Of course.
And a lot of people attribute that to your environment. Do you think a European environment influences your songwriting at all?
Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, Sweden has a long tradition of like folk music and kind of sad melodies, very I don't know, like a really heartfelt melodies in the folk music, and that's what we kind of grew up on. Not that I grew up in a folk music house, but it's always been part of musical culture in Sweden. Even ABBA and bands like that who have this kind of melancholy melodies, and I think that has definitely shaped.
So you like making people sad?
No, but there's beauty in that makes you feel something, you know.
Yeah, and it's the perfect pairing this tour, I think. Yeah. The last time Insomnium came to town was with Ailstorm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it's a 180.
Very much so, yeah.
You get sad and emotional during Insomnium, and then there's Ailstorm, and they want you to drink your ass off and start dance circles.
Yeah. Oh, so, that's nice, but cool.
And they haven't been back in a while, but I'm surprised, and it's not a bad thing, but I was surprised to see you guys back so soon. I actually saw you here in Cleveland, and then I was in California and saw you in San Francisco.
Oh, right.
So is the new album doing well? What's the reception?
It's been amazing. We toured more for this album than any other before it. It's been really, really cool. We can get away with playing a lot of new songs live, and that's always a good sign that you've done something well. And it's been amazing 2 years, you know. We've been constantly on tour.
You're pulling a Metallica. Are you going to be out for another year?
No. This is the last tour that we do for this album.
So are you shutting yourselves off and writing another album, or you can't even think about that right now?
Oh, we know. That's what we do. Getting home, getting ready to start writing again. We've got some ideas already, but now we got to.
Are they kind of in line with what you traditionally do, or are you taking a step out?
I don't know yet.
Going disco like it's.
It's not going to be disco. No.
It's going to be about ice fishing.
Oh yes. No, we really don't know. We'll see what happens. You know, and that's the exciting part.
And then where do you guys primarily draw your songwriting influence from? I know we spoke about the traditional music where you're from.
Yeah.
But is there anything modern, anything non-musical?
Absolutely. I mean anything that catches your attention and like makes you feel something will influence, I think. For me, I draw a lot of inspiration from books and kind of and reading and listening to books and podcasts and stuff like that. Just ideas that I hear that make me frustrated, angry, or sad. You know, the big emotions. You know, and that's normally what I draw most inspiration from. But the other guys, of course, we listen to all kinds of music, anything pop, synth, super technical, death metal, a lot of prog rock, anything, you know.
What's a song that you could never get sick of?
In our DT catalog or
Any song.
I think actually, like every day when our front of house guy plays "Everybody Here Wants You" by Jeff Buckley, because it has such a great sound and he fine tunes the PA. I can never get tired of that song. It's one of my all-time favorites.
And then opposite, what's a song that if you never heard it again, you'd be completely content?
There are horrible songs. Man Eater. It's one of those horrible pop songs that keep coming up on radio all the time, and it's just ridiculous. I have no idea why they became it here.
This is always my favorite question because it brings such anger out in people, and it's funny that music can create such positive emotions, and at the same time, it makes you want to throw someone across the room.
Without a doubt. I mean, there's definitely songs where you just go like, oh, can't stop listening to it over and over and over again. And then, yeah, some music just once you turn off the radio. But I don't expose myself. Like I don't like to be exposed to radio or bullshit music. I know.
If I could take
my
radio out of my car, I probably would.
Yeah, I like what I like, and I try to find new music all the time, but through stuff like Spotify and through friends and through magazines and stuff like that. So.
And I asked the non-musical question because Goat Horror is one of our good friends, and all their shirt designs follow a very unique yet inspired look at Albrecht Dürer. So
at what?
Albrecht Dürer, the German printmaker.
Oh,
painter.
Okay.
And it was so interesting to me because that's what I study. I'm an art historian.
Oh, right.
And so I caught that, and their lead singer, Ben, he was like, how did you even know? Like, yeah, of course, a lot of what I do and a lot of my influence is that. And it's so interesting to me.
Yeah. I cannot picture it in my mind now, but of course I've seen many other prints.
Yeah, if you look at a lyric video or any of their t-shirts, it's not tacky, it's very well done, but it's in their own way.
I like that. I love when bands have like a visual theme, or there's something that kind of you see a record cover, you go like, that's that band, or you see a t-shirt design and it's that band,
So where did you guys get your inspiration from visually?
It's like Niklas, our guitar player, he's the guy doing pretty much all of our prints and covers.
Himself? Or
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's done it since the beginning. Like a few of the albums we had outside help.
That almost makes it a lot more personal for you guys.
Absolutely. And that's what we always strive to do. Like take care of all aspects of the band, like from artwork to photography to music and production, touring, and like that. So but it's always like me and Niklas. We grew up together, both painting and doing art and stuff like that. So I designed some of the early logos and some of the symbols that we still use, and Niklas has done most of the graphic.
Okay, cool. And then just to close, because I don't think we have too much time left, what is a question that you've never been asked about your music or otherwise that you've been dying to answer? Like, when you go in an interview, you're hoping somebody asks you it and they don't.
I don't know.
Because you probably get a lot of monotony, like, oh, how's the new album? I just asked you that. That's terrible.
No, it's not terrible. I mean, but yeah, sometimes you answer the same questions over and over again and you get tired of your own answers.
Like, how can I make this interesting for myself?
Yeah. But it's not like I'm missing, like I'm like, oh man, I just wish someone would ask me this and that. I guess sometimes you just want someone to go, how you doing? How do you feel?
Well, how are you doing?
I'm getting better now. Like it's been one of those days. It's kind of hard.
What is that?
Blue Moon. That kind of like
cinnamon?
a seasonal. Yeah.
That one's
pretty
really good.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. But yeah, we've been touring for 10 days or something like that now. So it's kind of starting to wear on you. We're doing shows every day.
Do you like touring in the snow? Does it remind you of home? Do you wish it were summer?
Of course, I wish it was summer, but and it's fine. I mean, it hasn't been that bad. It was super fucking cold way up in Canada and Quebec, but I like this. I mean, it's cool. Sure, I'm looking forward to the time when we get down south.
Yeah, I was telling your tour manager, like, this is perfect weather for you guys. It's also perfect for the Watain and Mayhem show that's going.
Oh yeah, they're coming soon, right?
Thursday they'll be here.
All right, cool.
They just wanted to come here because you were here.
No, but it's yeah, I'm totally okay with it. When I walked in for hours earlier today.
Anything that you saw that was kind of outstanding? I know Cleveland can be a little underwhelming sometimes.
I was underwhelmed, absolutely. I didn't see anything. I saw a couple of Starbucks, not Starbucks even, Subways. And yeah, it's pretty beautiful, but I haven't seen much of the city at all.
Yeah, down by the lake is good.
Yeah.
Away from the college campus, which is kind of the center.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of colleges around here, right?
Yeah, we're learners.
That's good. Like that.
All right,
it's unfortunate sometimes, venues are, a bit far away from cities, whatever.
And this one is on the outskirts a little bit, but it's also not.
Yeah.
So you kind of have, our time is up, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like it, but it's okay. No, it's too bad. Like sometimes the best part of the day is going exploring and going out walking, finding stuff to buy and shit.
Did you eat anything? Because Cleveland's a foodie town for sure.
Oh no, I didn't find any good, interesting restaurants at all. There's one in here that we always eat at, so I'll probably end up with that.
I'm glad they built it.
Yeah.
But then you stop to be there. You're like, yeah, I can get pizza.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was awesome talking to you.
Me too.
Wish you well on your show.